When designing Dementus' biker horde, director George Miller and production designer Colin Gibson compared the character of Dementus to Genghis Khan, a traveling warlord that conquered and assimilated the groups he came across. It's possible cruel methods, such as the 5-bite teddy, were often used to whittle down the weaker members and leave only the strongest, as well as being a show of power. They wanted a dirty dozen type of organization, a collection of groups that would have had the best chance of surviving and thriving in the wasteland. They don't necessarily get along with each other, but realize they have a better chance in a larger horde. I don't think there were ever a full 12, it was just a placeholder title, but here's the 10 I was able to find. There's also some religious influence, specifically from the 12 tribes of Israel. Number 1. The Preppers. Doomsday Preppers whose paranoia helped with their survival. Right before the apocalypse kicked off, the Preppers were seen as madmen looking out for a threat that wasn't there. In their shelters, they survived for a while off of all the food and supplies they had stocked up, until eventually deciding to roam the wasteland. Number 2. Cops and Robbers. Police, prisoners, and prison guards themselves that ironically still stick together. It's possible they were already in cahoots before the apocalypse, as corrupt cops and prison guards would already have connections with their prisoners. Early versions were called the Gimp Roughs, or Skunk Gimp Cops, and had more of a bondage, fetish aesthetic that goes along with their authoritarian ideas. Number 3. Mortifliers. Pioneers of parkour and puppetry, who attack from the air while holding as little equipment as possible to maximize mobility. The members are descended from a rogue SAS group, explaining their unique skill sets and training. We see the most of these guys in the film, as they are extremely loyal to the Octoboss, who in turn seems to actually care about them, unlike how Dementus treats everyone. A lot of their aesthetic seems to be leather and aerial based. Number 4. The Happy Clappers, a religious cult awaiting the rapture after the rupture. They wait for Jesus to take them up, happy to ignore their religion as long as they can look upwards. No matter what they do, they will try to justify it by saying there's something better that will arrive later on. There was a bike for the Happy Clappers that wasn't used, with a sissy bar made from a gold crucifix, and more crucifixes as a grappling hook. It's possible Smeg was part of the group, and early drafts Rizdale Pell was their leader, leading into his religious aesthetic. Number 5. Roobillies. Inbred redneck hillbillies impacted by the radioactive dust fanned from apocalyptic winds. They know the lay of the land and are used to living hand to mouth. The animal skulls show that they are talented hunter-gatherers. The original incarnation of the Roobillies was much more monstrous and disturbing than the final film. During the concept phase, the gang was made up entirely of mutants with severe physical deformities. While they are seen as lower class by the rest of the biker horde, they had their use as gatherers and trackers. Number 6. The Refugees. A group composed of less common ethnic groups in Australia, who have been left bitter from having lost their homeland and being mistreated by the government. Now that they've survived the apocalypse, they have a chance to take their anger out in the world. Early versions of the team were led by Fang, before his development changed. Number 7. The Militia. Similar to the Preppers in terms of paranoia, but cranked up to 11. They hold bigoted and extreme views, causing animosity between them and all the other factions, particularly the Refugees. The only thing keeping them from becoming violent towards the others is their respected Dementus. Number 8. The Losers and Loners. Outsiders and people who don't fall under specific groups, who will only go along with the biker horde because it's better than being killed, sometimes referred to as the Misfits. Number 9. The Mules. Similar to the Losers and Loners, the Mules are only kept around as long as they have a use. They're mostly there to carry stuff, though in a pinch they can be eaten by their desperate companions. Number 10. The New Zealand Bikies. A surviving bikie gang with inspiration from the lost tribes of Israel, with Mako tattoos and driving heavy hogs and Harley motorcycles. Possibly the Last Pharaohs. Not mentioned by Colin Gibson, but it was an idea created by Dementus when coming up with a backstory for Fang, a drug gang from before the world collapsed. Fang's father was a member and later gifted him his bike. It seems like they had an Egyptian theme judging from the name, as well as Fang's pharaoh headdress looking face paint. Also mentioned are the Mongrels, although I'm not sure what their deal is. If there are any other ones mentioned that I might have missed, please let me know. I'm going to do the Smeg video next, but I also want to expand a bit on the 12 terrible tribes with headcanons of my own.